Good Friday morning, everyone. This is Gene Daddy here, and as you can see, it's a slightly chilly morning here in the beautiful oasis, luxurious oasis of New Jersey. And I couldn't wait till Monday to do another video because so much has happened this week alone. Oh, and yes, and of course, as you can see, I use my Corona clippers to, give myself a self-inflicted haircut, as it were. I couldn't wait forever for my haircutter to come back online. But as the title says for this one, Trump wins again. You know, as we know, it has been no secret that the Democrats and the leftists, media and so forth, have been in total cahoots against this president to try and take him down at every chance that they could. Every angle that they could try to attack him from, they have. But he comes out a winner again this week. How so, you ask? Well, thank you for asking. The DOJ with under William Barr, they dropped charges against General Flynn, and no doubt, hopefully, based on the fact that we have the interview, just like Joe Biden running off his mouth, Comey ran off his mouth in an interview describing how they use a tactic of perjury entrapment against Flynn. He boasted on it in a December 2019 interview with MSNBC host Nicole Wallace. Comey essentially admitted to go around proper protocols, channels, to infiltrate not only the Trump campaign but the Trump administration at the behest of Obama, no doubt, Democrats, and it was based on alleged Russian interactions with a Russian ambassador, I believe, and of course based on the impetus from Strzok and Page and the Steele dossier, you know, which of course we remember was debunked also. And they did all this to get an interview with Flynn, who was going to be the national security advisor, I believe. And it was essentially, as he said in the interview, it was a shot in the dark. You know, we'll just send some guys over, quote unquote. And that he admits that he would not have been able to pull off this tactic with any other administration. And he cited the Bush administration, the Clinton administration, and the Obama administration. So they essentially did an illegal interview with members of the Trump administration, namely Flynn, and please forgive me, the two other guys that were also besmirched by the Comey FBI. If you remember their names, please put them in the comments section, because I know there was a couple of guys who were disastrously and just ruthlessly dragged through the mud for absolutely no reason. Now, this brings us to the next level, which has to do with Adam Schiff. Now, it was either Wednesday or Thursday of this week, the 6th or 7th, between the 6th and the 8th of May, this week, the last couple of days, Bill Barr again and the Department of Justice just dropped another bomb. Interview documents from August 17th, that were approved by Rob Rosenstein, who was the Deputy Attorney General at the time. Interviews of, I believe, law enforcement that gave permission for Meuller to start his investigation into collusion, which at this point, from the interviews, was known to be debunked. The Steele dossier had been debunked by the source himself, as far as I understand. But he gave permission, Rob Rosenstein still gave permission for Meuller to conduct this investigation. Now, how does this work with Schiff? Well, Schiff, as we know, is the number one enemy of the state and the president. And by this time, if you have not figured out that this guy is a born liar, I don't know what to tell you. He proclaimed at this time to have, quote unquote, direct evidence of collusion, even though he knew that the accusation of collusion was completely false, because through the interviews, the debunking of the Steele dossier, it was already known that the collusion accusation was absolutely false, and that it was Strzok who continued to push to have the investigations continue with the, as we know by now, the FISA warrants, which were also illegit. So what happened after that, big surprise to everyone, the lying shifty Schiff lied to the public so that he could execute a major ruse, and he essentially embodied the definition of the word hoax by pushing the Meuller investigation, which, of course, as we saw, found no collusion. In hindsight, we can say big surprise. After we know everything that happened, we can say big surprise. Of course, yeah, duh, there was no collusion. But we know that now. Hindsight, of course, is 2020. Just like when the IG report came out and also confirmed that there was no collusion. And another aspect of it, which has also come out, that as chair of the Intel Committee, that Schiff knew, again, that the collusion was fake. As a result of the transcripts with law enforcement, because it was his committee that had conducted the interviews. So, completed the interviews with law enforcement. It was his committee because he is the head of the House Intel Committee. Now, my thing is, and probably a lot of people's question is, what happens now? Is anybody going to be convicted? Is anybody going to go to jail? This was obviously orchestrated, an orchestrated coup with Strzok, with Page, with Meuller, with Comey, with Schiff, right? It was an orchestrated coup to bring down this president, okay? A sitting president, a coup in the United States of America. Who'd have thunk it? And is this treason? Does this rise to the level of treason is the question that I personally have. Does this rise to the level of treason? Using lies, using false information to try and impeach the president, duly elected. All of this trail of things, which is why a lot of people are saying, even now with this corona thing, and even myself, as I said in the other video, speculating, is this a hoax? Is this yet another hoax to try and take down this president, to try and besmirch this president, to try and disparage this president and show him in a bad light? So that's my 2 cents. What are your thoughts on this? Leave your comments below in the comment section mosh pit. And I'm Gene Daddy, and I am out.